Hello viewers, I'm Simon Preston and welcome to Reggae Boys Commentary. Thank you very much for tuning in for another video on this channel. Really appreciate your support that you have given me, especially over the last couple of weeks. You know, the supports in terms of the comments, the likes, you know, your feedback. Generally, it's been fantastic, so I appreciate everything that you have said and done in this regard, and I implore you as well to continue in that same regard. And you know, you can also message me in the comments below if there's an area or a topic that you're interested in relation to Jamaican football and something that you want to know a bit more information on. I'll do the necessary research and I'll do my best to provide you that information in a credible manner. You know my style as well, that I ensure that whatever I say, you know, and record and present is something that is done in a credible manner. You know me, that I like to have all my T's crossed and all my I's dotted to ensure that everything goes well and on the same page. So, with all of that being said, as you can see by the title of this video, we're talking about a player that is my current favorite reggae boy. And you know, that stems for many reasons. But before we get into all of that and everything, what is the story? What is the real story behind Adrian Joseph Mariappa? Well, the scenario is like this. Adrian Joseph Mariappa was born October 1986 in Harrow in West London, not too far from the Ealing, Southall sort of area. So, you know, my mother's side of the family would know are quite close to where he grew up and all of that. But in terms of his footballing career, you know, and everything like that, he came through the Watford Academy, and to date he's one of their most successful ever graduates from the academy. You know, you think about Adrian Mariappa, Lloyd Doyley, Jadon Sancho. You know, there's been some decent players that have come through the Watford Academy and have gone on to different clubs and made outstanding careers. So Mariappa made his Premier League debut when he was 18, 19 thereabouts, played at Watford till 2012, moved on towards Reading, played in the Premier League for them that season. They got relegated, played one game in the Championship, well, in the League Cup for Reading. Then after that he moved from Reading to Crystal Palace, and that's where he spent the next 3 seasons of his career. So at Crystal Palace he scored a Premier League goal against Fulham. It was a 4-1 defeat, but you know, he still was able to score and be able to get a good, you know, can say that he jumped over a guy that was 6 feet 6 inches tall and scored, so that was good. He even scored against Stoke, and Stoke, as we know, was the most physical team in terms of set pieces. To score against Stoke as a 5'10" defender, 5'10" player from a corner, you know, that's just outstanding. So like I said, he spent a couple of seasons at Crystal Palace, went to the FA Cup final, wore that jersey, yeah, that jersey in particular. But at Reading he wore this jersey against Man United in the FA Cup. He wore that jersey against Manchester United in the FA Cup final. Yeah. So, with all of that being said and everything together, this was the scenario. He moved on to Watford, and I don't think his treatment at Watford was very good in the 4 seasons, to be quite frank. He spent 7 seasons in the first team, 2005 to 2012, right? And then, as we know after that, from 2016 to 2020, that's 4 seasons, right? So cumulatively, 11 seasons in the first team. And when you release the player, you don't even give him a testimonial. Shame on Watford, shame on Watford. Your most successful graduate that came through the academy from the under-8s to the first team, captained the team. Only Lloyd Doyley has really done that, another former Jamaican international, so, you know. It is what it is, so we just have to move on from it, and hopefully one day they recognise his contribution to the game when he does hang up his boots. And right now he's at Bristol, so he has a deal with Bristol City until the end of the season. And from there he'll decide his future. I have an instinct that he would extend his deal another year, but if there's an opportunity in the Premier League, then he's going to gravitate towards it. So, for the important question that you all have been asking, Does Adrian Mariappa have a role still to play in the national setup? Now, I could have answered this question within the first 5 seconds of this video, given you my one-word answer, and be like, alright guys, that's the video. But it wouldn't be interesting, wouldn't it? So, to answer this question, look at what he has done on and off the pitch. Many people don't know what he has done off the pitch, but on the pitch, from his debut in 2012 against Guyana, it's clear to see the sort of impact that he has had on the team. He's been there, done that. Guyana, that victory, the World Cup qualifiers 2014, 2018 and soon to be 2022 qualifiers. He's made himself available for every tournament possible to us except the Gold Cup in 2017, 2019 and the Caribbean Cup 2017. Why? Because he picked up injuries before those competitions. Other than that, he's played for us friendlies, Nations League, World Cup qualifiers, Copa America Centenario, the Gold Cup 2015. He's been there for us. 50 caps, 50 appearances for Jamaica. That's not an ordinary feat. 1 goal in the process as well, scored it in a loss to Nicaragua, but it's great. Yeah, it's quite a lot to reflect on in terms of his performances. He played massive roles in that 2-1 victory against the United States at the National Stadium and also in the Gold Cup in 2015. Also played a good role at the Azteca as well, neutralizing the threat of the Mexicans in Javier Hernandez and company. And also he played such a pivotal role as captain, as captain, as captain, as captain, as captain, as captain, as we defeated world number 3 Chile. You look back at that Chile team, look back at the stars that were there, including Alexis Sanchez. We defeated a team that was ranked 3rd in the world on South American soil. Just let that settle in. Just let that set in. The same Chile team that won the Copa America the year before. Just let that set in. And guess what? Chile doesn't lose often at home. They don't. If you want to go back in terms of years outside of a home qualifier loss to Uruguay and a Jamaica loss in a friendly in recent times, they don't lose often at home. They don't. They don't lose often at home. Clayton Donaldson and Joel Grant did the business, didn't they? And we came away with a historic victory. What a result that was. His performances on the pitch, his quick feet, his defensive mindset, his aerial approach, it's clear to say that he has an impact. And I've spoken to local players that were not only playing locally, but Jamaican-born players apply their trade overseas, and they say it's a pleasure having Adrian Mariappa in a setup. Damian Lowe, Lamar Walker, Errol Stevens. The list can go on and on for me in terms of Jamaican-born players that appreciate having Mariappa in the setup, the experience that he has garnered being in the dressing room, his years, multiple years of Premier League experience, the sort of impact that he has had on the dressing room as well. Off the pitch, the way that he has helped players, encouragement, advice, monetary support, looking out for players. But not many people know this. But what he has done off the pitch is just as valuable as what he has done on the pitch. And I know many people might be saying, well, he's 34, going on 35, and people are going to say, well, if we get to the World Cup, he's going to be 36. Look, I believe that if you go through the qualifiers, then not all the players, but you know, the core players that went through the qualifiers should definitely be in the World Cup squad. I stand by that view. But even if you're not thinking about starting Mariappa in Qatar, Mariappa has to be on the plane. He has to be on the plane if we qualify. Has to be on the plane to Qatar. And whether he is the backup centre half, the backup right back, whatever you want to say, this guy is a motivational leader. This guy is a leader on and off the pitch. The way that he says the things. I've been in a dressing room with him. I know what he says to each player. And what I can say is that the impact that he has had from that motivational standpoint can sometimes be the 5 or 10% needed from a player to give that extra 5 or 10% on the pitch. Tenacity, skill, desire. Trust me, Adrian Mariappa is not an ordinary character. He turned down Fiji when Fiji called him up first because he wanted to represent the land of his mother's birth. That was the priority for him. And I'm just so grateful that every day this guy is a reggae boy. You know, remember when he came into the national setup with Naira Nosworthy? We lost 5 games in a row prior to that. We ended 2011 horribly, losing to China, Ecuador, Honduras. It was difficult. It was a difficult run of fixtures. It was hard because we're leaking goals left, right and centre. In came Naira Nosworthy, in came Adrian Mariappa. We didn't concede as much as before. That's the reality. And Adrian Mariappa has a role to play in the qualifiers. It might not be all 14 games, but at least half of them. At least half of the games. 7 at least. Certain games will call for him to be pragmatic at right full back, and some games at centre half, depending on the numbers at centre back. So that's something that we have to consider moving forward. Adrian Mariappa, a leader, a motivator, and a legend. Reggae Boys fans, thank you very much for watching this video. Really appreciate your support to the channel. Don't forget to like this video, give it a massive thumbs up, comment as well. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, Reggae Boys Commentary, and don't forget as well to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Reggae Boys Commentary. Take care.